Hi besties, welcome back to the channel. This is So with Somi. On today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how I made this overwrap shirt top, guys. This is so beautiful, and I saw the style inspiration on Pinterest and I fell in love with it. Now if you watch on the side of the video, I am trying to show you guys how to wrap up this shirt top with the extended rope that it has, and it is so beautiful. So if you want to know how I achieved this, do not skip any part of this video. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. So for this tutorial, I got 2 yards of this check fabric and it was enough for what I wanted to make. So I have this elastic that I'll be using for the sleeve. I have my scissors, my chalk and my tape. So now let's head straight into drafting. Now this is my fabric. I folded it into two. I'm just going to iron it down so that everything looks so neat and looking nice. So after that, I'm going to rule out a line. So this line will be serving as our starting line. So from that starting line now, I'm going to mark my chest line. So my chest line is 9 inches, and to get your chest line, divide your round bust by 6, whatever that gives you, add 1.5 inches to that. So after marking that, I'm going to mark my waistline, which is 16 inches. And after my waistline, I'm going to take the full length I want this top to be, and I used 25 inches, and this is where I wished I made it at least 30 inches long or 28 inches, because as me it was long, it would have been finer, the wrap would have been finer. So after that, I'll come to that starting line again, divide my round shoulder by 2. I'll mark the same shoulder divided by 2 on the chest line, and I'm going to roll that into a straight line. So for the neck width, I'm using a neck width of 3 inches, 1 inch for the back neckline. So we are drafting the back hip first, then I'll connect from the neck width to the depth. Now I'll come down 1 inch by the shoulder slope and I'll connect, but before that I'll take my round bust measurement divided by 4. Now I'll connect the neck width to the shoulder slope. So when I wanted to check here, I noticed it wasn't up to 1 inch. I had to remark, then I reconnected. Then after that, I'm going to measure what I have on the armhole. I'll get the middle of that, and on that middle point I'll come in by ½ inch. Now I'm going to connect my bust like this to cover my armhole. So after that, I'm going to add 1 inch for ease and 1 inch for sewing allowance. Now on the waistline, I'm going to divide my round waist by 4. I'll mark, I'll add 1 inch for ease, but I later made it 1½ inch for ease, then 1 inch for sewing allowance because we're going to be wrapping it. So coming to the hip line, I'm going to do the same thing. I'll mark my round hip divided by 4, then I'll add 2 inches, 1 inch for ease, 1 inch for sewing allowance, and I'll connect from the chest line to the waistline, and from the waistline to the full length of the shirt. So for this shirt to even be finer, I would advise you, instead of using 25 inches like I did, please make your top length at least 27 inches. You will love the results better. So I am done. The next thing we're going to do is to cut out. So guys, if you have watched up to this point, thank you guys so much for riding with me for the entire year. I am so grateful to every single one of you. Thank you so much, and please don't stop supporting me. We go harder in 2026. Thank you. So now this is for the front. I've marked in 2 inches for my button allowance, and I've placed my back piece on that button allowance. So all I have to do now is we're just going to cut out the same exact shape we have on the front. So what we have on the front is what we are going to cut. The only difference is that the front has a button allowance. So cut out the neckline, the shoulder line, and the armhole. So this is what I have. I'm going to take out the back piece. Now for the front, I will notch that button allowance. I'll come to the lower part. I'm still going to notch it so that when I'm sewing, I will know where my stitching is going to stop. After that, I'll take out the 1 inch we marked for the back neckline. I'll come down by 3 inches for the front neckline. Remember, the front is 3 inches, the back is 1 inch. Then I'll reconnect this way and I'll cut it off. So the next thing now is to open up that button allowance. So after opening up, this is how it's going to look. So you're just going to fold half an inch in, then match it up on that notch like this and stitch it down. So you can press it down. So I'll go stitch it down, bring it back to show you. Now this is the back piece and this is the front. I'm done stitching down the button allowance. That is how it looks. So now I'm going to place them right side facing each other like this. I'll arrange everything, then I'll stitch the shoulders by half an inch, then I'll come to the side. I'm going to stitch the side, then I'm going to leave about 6 inches open. So I'll stitch and I'll leave about a space of 6 inches. That is where my stitches is going to stop. So I'll go stitch that down and I'll bring back to show you. So after stitching it down, this is what I meant. I left a space here. Are you seeing it? That is what I said. Leave like 6 or 7 inches open depending on how long your top is. So now that space we left open, I'm going to fold it in by half an inch, fold it again by half an inch, and we're going to be running a stitch on that space so that everything looks neat. Then after closing it, we are going to hem the lower part as well. So I'll go stitch all of that down and I'll bring it back to show you what I have. Now this is what I meant. So I'm done stitching it down and I've hemmed the lower part. So each part is hemmed separately. So this is what everything looks. So now I'm going to fold the neckline together so that we can take the measurements we have there for our collar. So I measured around it this way. So after measuring, I got 10 inches. So on fold is going to be 20 inches. So here I have cut out the collar. And remember, my collar was 20 inches. I added 1 inch to that for stitching allowance. I have 21 inches, and the width I have here is 3 inches. So I made it 3 inches because I'll be ironing half an inch on both sides. I'll iron in half an inch on both sides, then I'll use half an inch to stitch the sides. So I'll go do that. I'll go stitch it down, bring it back to show you. So here it is. So I've ironed half an inch in on both sides and I've stitched the sides. So I'm just going to get my shirt and I'll be sandwiching this shirt in between the collar. Please, if you have any other way you draft your collar, please do that. There are so many ways to draft collar. For me, if I'm making shirt for myself and I don't want to go through the professional collar drafting, I just do it this way. So what I'm going to do now is just to sandwich the shirt in between the collar. You can pin it down. So I'll go top stitch around it. So I'll do that and bring it back to show you. Now after stitching it down and I ironed it in like this, so this is how it looks. Like I said, if there is any other way you draft your collar, please do that. So this is how mine looks and I love the outcome on it. So now this is what the shirt looks like. So the next thing is to attach our sleeve. Now for the sleeve, I folded my fabric into two and I'm going to be coming down. The full length of my sleeve is 28 inches, but for my normal sleeve is 24 inches, but since I'm going to be adding elastic, I use 28 inches. So if you want to use a normal pencil sleeve, you're free to do so. If you want to use a short sleeve, you're free to do so, but this is what I actually wanted. So the length I used was 28 inches. After that, I came down 4.5 inches for my bicep. To get your bicep, divide your round bust by 12, whatever it gives you, add 1.5 inches to that. So at this hem, I'm just going to, at this edge, sorry, I'm just going to curve out my armhole this way. After that, I'm going to take my round armhole measurement. I will mark, then I'll add 1.5 inch for stitching allowance. So at the hem here, since I'm going to add elastic, I came in by 10 inches at the hem. So if I open it up, it's going to be 20 inches. So I'll connect from the armhole to the hem this way. And this is what we have. So the next thing we are going to do now is just to cut out. So guys, if you've watched up to this point, you've not liked and subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Please hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. So after cutting out, I have the two sleeves. I'm going to keep one aside. Let's work with one. Now I'm going to be marking out where I'll be attaching the elastic. So initially I marked 4 inches, but it looked too small to me, so I later went up by 6 inches. So I'll be marking 6 inches all around. Now whatever you're doing for this sleeve, remember you're repeating the same thing for the second sleeve. So I'll connect everything together. Now for the elastic I have here, it is my round wrist measurement minus 1.5 inches. So I'll take it to the machine. As I'm stitching on that line we mark, I'll be dragging it. As I'm stitching, I'll be dragging it till it gathers. So I'm going to do that and I'll bring it back to show you. So after stitching it down, this is what it looks like, and I've hemmed the lower parts. So this is it. So this is my shirt. I have already attached one of the sleeve to the shirt. So you see I've attached one. So I'll be showing you how I did that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the seam allowance on the shirt top, and I'll open up the seam allowance on the sleeve. I'm going to match them up center, like the right side facing each other, and I'll take it to my sewing machine. I'll be stitching it all around using 1/2 inch. So I'm going to do that and bring it back to show you. So guys, I am done stitching it and everything is coming out together, so it looks so fine. So we are coming to the end of this tutorial. Now the last thing now is to attach the rope. So I just cut out a strap of like 20 inches long, and at the hem of the shirt I'll just stitch it down at the hem there. So I'll do the same on this underside. On the front seat, on the front piece, I'll stitch it down. So I'll go top stitch on it and bring it back to show you. So guys, after stitching it down, this is what we have, and this is how you're going to wrap it on your body. So this is it. Now the next thing left is to add your buttons. So for mine, I think I added about just 5 buttons. I left the other space open to wrap my top. So this is how the top looks like. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.